is our tent. This is our home.
It's no longer fun.
Mandy and Steve are tired of living in a tent. You're gonna love this, Mandy.
I'm totally stoked on this room.
We're being really crammed in this space.
Anything's bigger than a tent. For first-time renters, finding an apartment in the big city is an overwhelming task. Gathering references, getting a credit check, and coming up with first and last month's rent isn't easy. First full-time renters, Mandy and Steven are a young couple who've been splitting their time between camping in a tent in the summer and crashing with friends in the winter.
This is our tent. This is our home.
Everything here is just basic essentials.
I think all of our belongings are in our car. I work for a small not-for-profit.
I'm a musician and a drummer.
I'm not quite the outdoorsman that Steve is. I like being outdoors, but I'm really cushy. I like to eat out, and I like to go home and watch movies.
5, 6 years ago, I loved this lifestyle, but it's no longer fun, really.
There's no warmth, and there's no comforts. You have to get up in the middle of the night to go pee, and it's pouring rain, and I hate that.
There's no way to sort of relax at the end of the day when you're living in a tent in particular.
Not being in the city, trying to find a place has been a huge hurdle.
Places go like almost as soon as they get online.
Mandy and Steve are tired of living in a tent and sleeping on sofas. They need me to help them find their first rental ever in the big city. I'm making the trek into the wilderness to find out just what this outdoorsy duo are looking for. When do you guys want to get into your new rental?
The cold weather is starting to come, and snow will hit soon, so the sooner the better.
If you guys can hold out a little while, you'll find there's way more selection further into the fall. The very beginning of the fall, all the students come in and take up all the good, inexpensive rentals. What would you say is your wish list?
Main floor, if possible.
Access to a backyard or a deck, no carpets, hardwood floors.
And a little bit of working space.
And storage.
Can you describe the type of neighborhood you'd like to live in?
Close to music venues, cafes.
Access to a park or access to the water would be really nice because we are getting a puppy this fall.
Okay.
So we like to mix sort of the outdoors, again, with a funky area.
Okay, and have you guys thought about your budget yet?
Right now, our goal is to stay at 1,100, everything included, if possible. We don't have a lot of flexibility. We'd like to keep some money to play around with a bit, to go whitewater kayaking, to go skiing, those sorts of activities.
And how long do you see yourself in this particular rental?
I think this is sort of our transition place, like getting our feet on the ground. It's our first step towards a little bit of stability, and then from there, we'd like to grow.
You guys have given me a really great idea of how to look at the rental market through your eyes when I get back to the city. I can't wait to get you guys into a nice warm apartment for the winter.
Sounds good.
When you live outside of the city where you're looking to rent, don't rely solely on the internet. Take a trip into town and look around neighborhoods of interest, hunting for places on foot or by car. Mandy and Steve brought me in to do just that. And first up, I'm showing them an apartment in a converted Victorian, just a few blocks from an artsy neighborhood, slightly west of downtown. So we're in your favorite neighborhood, right where you want to be.
Absolutely. This is totally where we wanted to be.
Okay, and we've got the main floor of a house, so let's go check it out. So come on in. What's cool about this place is that the landlord, Marco, lives upstairs, so he's been working on updating the place. Brand new cabinetry, new backsplash, new countertops.
The kitchen is amazing.
The really neat thing about this kitchen is it's huge. Enough room for another workspace and for an eating area, which is great. You rarely see a kitchen this big in a rental.
Yeah, I'm totally liking it. I'm digging this.
Yeah, it's great. Natural light, lots of space, new countertops and cabinetry were a big plus.
The one thing that I wanted to sort of bring to your attention is the backyard doesn't really have like a grassy area for a dog.
Having a dog and just being able to put her out without thinking twice about it, especially with a puppy, is really important. Yeah, that's something we'd have to talk about.
Sure.
Okay, I'll leave you guys with that. Let's just check out the bathroom. Have a look.
Mandy has more of a tendency to need some space in the bathroom.
Could be an issue. And when you're getting ready, I like counter space. There's just a sink, but like the big mirror, it's really funky.
I think Mandy and Steve can make the bathroom work. So the bedroom's not huge. You definitely fit a queen-size bed in here, but it does have a big double closet.
Where are you gonna put your stuff?
Good one, MJ.
So I think the bedroom would be perfect for us. Having that neutral color, just you could already envision our stuff in it, which was really great.
You're gonna love this, Mandy.
Ooh, I do love it. So much character. It's great, eh?
The living room is the deal maker for me. It's just got the vibe, it's got tons of space.
It was warm, it was organic, it was simple, it was clean. It was exactly what I was hoping for.
So what I was thinking with this room is we could make it a living room with an office in it.
In a rental, if you need to create a double-duty space, make use of every inch and work with the room's shape. Inexpensive desks can be tucked into the corner to create workspace for two. Floating shelves for storage are easy to install yourself, and a neutral rug will help diffuse some noise from the hardwood floors.
Love it.
Cool, yeah, I'm totally stoked on this room.
Would you still be stoked on this place if I spent a little bit more of your money than you told me to?
Depends how much.
This place is $1,200 per month inclusive.
We really love the place. If it was $1,100, we would take it right here on the spot, but it's not. It's a little bit higher, it's 12, so I think we need some time to discuss it.
I go on the 3-strike rule, and we really had 2 strikes with this place.
I nailed everything on their wish list, but the price and the backyard. So we'll see if they go for it.
Like most renters, Mandy and Steve are working with a tight budget without much wiggle room. So I'm taking them to see a main floor rental in a smaller, semi-detached home that's been converted into 3 apartments. It's about a 15-minute bus ride away from their desired downtown neighborhood. But with the rents a bit lower in this neck of the woods, I'm hoping it will rival the pricier Victorian.
Guys, we're in a slightly different neighborhood than was your preference. And obviously it's not a Victorian, it's a newer house, but it has a renovated kitchen and bathroom, so I thought it was really worth showing you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay, follow me. Come on in. So this room is kind of small, but it has the bay window, really great ceiling height.
I don't really care for the laminate floors, just takes away some of that character.
Living room is probably our most important element in terms of creating the vibe that we want, and this living room didn't have it.
It's really small.
It's really not that small when you remove all the tenants' belongings that are bulky and filling up the space, and anything's bigger than a tent. Okay, well, let's check out the bedroom and see if that works.
Okay.
You'd have to put a wardrobe in because there's no closet, but definitely you could fit a big bed.
There's not a closet, there's carpet. We're being really crammed in this space.
You can work with it a bit, but it might be a compromise.
Sure.
Let's check out the kitchen.
Cool.
Okay.
So this kitchen has been newly renovated. It's got all new cabinetry, very modern. It's got a gas stove, which I think is fabulous.
I like that.
And it's a big, big kitchen, which is great because this is the only area where you could really create an office space as well.
Shelving units are inexpensive but valuable in a rental. Using a large unit from floor to ceiling will give you lots of storage for both kitchen and work items. In a small rental, it's a great solution for giving a room dual purpose. A long tabletop can be affixed to the unit to maximize space. Renters should always check the as-is section of big box stores for things like lone tabletops or spare parts to get creative in small spaces.
Does that work for you guys?
It's not really optimal.
Yeah, I think that would be tough. I don't think it would work.
The fact that it's being slashed with our office space is the big issue for me.
It's unfortunate this place doesn't have access to a backyard, which I know is really important to you, but it does have a great storage space. So it would fit all of your sports gear, skis, kayaks, the works.
The backyard here is a big issue for us. Again, with having a new puppy, there's not even a front yard space that we can use instead, so I think that's a real drag.
The number one reason I brought you guys here is price. This place is $1,000 all inclusive, and the landlord is negotiable.
Yeah, for sure. That is a bonus.
It's definitely worth talking about.
The bonus with this place is that it's potentially below our target, and because it's negotiable, it might be as low as 900.
This place is a real test for Mandy and Steve. They say they want to save money, and I need to figure out just what lengths they're willing to go to do so.
I tend to be more of a stickler, though, in terms of character and what we want. So I'm willing to talk about price.
If price is open for discussion, there's definitely more chance of getting them what they want. So we're headed back to their favorite downtown area, where I've managed to find them a rental in a small pocket where outdoor space is easier to come by. The 2-bedroom unit is on the 2nd floor in a converted semi-detached home that houses 4 separate units.
All right, guys, I think you're gonna love this place. It's 2 bedrooms. We're smack dab in the middle of the neighborhood you wanna be in, and it's got a huge backyard. The landlord just built a shed, and he's working on a great big deck with a staircase down to the backyard, so you guys would have fabulous access.
Great, cool.
Let's have a look. Okay. Come on up. So, this is the living room.
Cool.
It may not be hardwood, but new laminate is the next best thing.
It's very bright.
Yeah, very bright. A little tight. Sort of thing, when you open the door and you walk in, the first thing you see is this tight living room with doors off each wall, which makes it a little tricky.
Yeah, I know it's hard to figure out where you'd place a couch, so you kind of have to be very sparse in this room. But let's just keep looking because there's some other really good attributes. The bathrooms are behind you. It's been renovated.
Okay, cool. Looks nice.
Yeah, it looks clean. It's great.
Cool.
The bathroom's big, and it's just been renovated. There's loads of storage, and I think it'll really work for them.
It looks clean and it's new, and I really like the cabinetry, so I was happy with it.
Yeah, and there's shelving and storage area, which was nice. Pretty spacious. It's an area where maybe the dog could be at certain times because it's ceramic floors, so she's not going to mess up any wood floors. Stand-up shower. I'm not a bath person, so that doesn't bother me. So it has everything that I would need in a bathroom.
So come check out the kitchen. It's tight.
Yeah, it is. Lots of counter space. What I like about the kitchen is that there's lots of counter space. I like to cook, so that works for me.
We can definitely work with it.
Yeah, it's tight, but I like that it's bright, it's open and airy, and I'm not sure whose number this is, but hopefully it's like pizza or some sort of wonderful delivery.
Perfect.
So when they do the renovation, that'll be the door to the deck.
Cool. Having the deck added on to the kitchen, even though it's long and narrow, will be a huge bonus because in the warmer months, we can have that door open. It will totally double our space, which will make it better than manageable.
Come check out the office. So this is advertised as a second bedroom, but I thought it would be perfect for both of your home offices.
One of the big selling features of this place is the office space. It's more than what we were hoping for.
The fact that there's a separate room that Mandy and Steve can use for their offices is fantastic. It means they won't have to have their workspace in their living room. Let's check out the master bedroom. I think you're gonna like it.
It's big.
The bedroom here is massive.
So this is a big step up from a tent.
Absolutely. It's got so much space. I love it.
Mandy and Steve have come from university residence rooms with desks and then living in a tent. So having a dedicated bedroom that's a nice size would be really great for them.
Yeah, we could do a lot with this.
Yeah, I think it's loaded with potential.
Storage is an easy fix. Used pieces work great in a rental because you can paint them any color to match the tone of the room. An armoire and a dresser will make up for the lack of closets here. A great DIY project for renters is to frame the bed with an inexpensive homemade headboard and use an ottoman as a footstool, pieces you can take with you.
Jodi did give us some good ideas about sectioning off a different space or adding a hutch or an armoire.
It's got most of the stuff you're looking for, but it's $1,200 per month inclusive.
It is a 2-bedroom place, and so chances of finding an office under $1,200 are very slim. So it's okay.
Budget is definitely going to be a factor in their decision between 3 units. A Victorian with historic charm, a smaller 1-bedroom at a great price, and a second-floor unit with a fantastic backyard. Which rental will replace their tent and campground?
So guys, we've seen a bunch of places. What do you think?
The Victorian was by far the winner when you looked at the house alone.
It had a wonderful space. It was really large with the high ceilings. It had the character. So it would have made a really neat office/living space, but it didn't have a lot of space outdoors.
There's no porch, there's no patio, there was no backyard. And especially for the dog, that would also be a major issue.
Okay.
We knew that we weren't interested in the smaller 1-bedroom because the only thing that was good about that was the price.
The rooms were really small. We'd have to work in the kitchen. There wasn't really a backyard space for the dog.
And what about the second-story place?
It doesn't have, obviously, what the Victorian has. It doesn't have the hardwood floors. It doesn't have quite that character. On the other hand, though, it has the backyard.
And it has the second bedroom that we can use as an office.
What was wonderful is that the bedroom was so large that there might be a lot of opportunity to do some interesting things with that space.
So which one's it gonna be?
We're gonna go with the second story place.
Sounds like it was a no-brainer choice for Mandy and Steve. Great location, 2 separate bedrooms, and outdoor space to boot. When one place has it all, you need to jump on it quickly.
So who's gonna make the call?
I guess I will.
Never underestimate the power of connecting with a landlord. If your personalities click, that's a great sign. It promises the landlord an easy working relationship, which can go a long way, especially in Mandy and Steve's case, since they don't have references from past landlords. If they can convince this landlord that they'd be responsible tenants, a security deposit might be all they need to seal the deal.
So it sounds like it's still available. Just gotta go and see what happens.
Perfect. Well, best of luck. Let me know how it goes. Give me a shout once you've spoken to him. If you've never signed a lease before, you're gonna need to arm yourself with as much information as you can. You'll need a printed credit report, a letter from your employer stating your earnings, and letters of reference.
Luckily, those documents were enough for Mandy and Steve to snatch up this great rental on the spot.
Once we spoke to the landlord, it was sort of a done deal.
He's got his canoe out back. He's building shelves for our kayaks.
He's giving us a space in the garden.
Just little things that would have been added cost to us, so it makes $1,200 really worth it.
It's amazing the difference that a landlord can make. Mandy and Steve liked this place at first glance, but once they got to know that the landlord is very similar to them and wants to improve his investment, they love it.
Coming from a campground, Mandy and Steve had very little stuff. So with minimal furniture, they were able to save on moving costs and simply borrowed a friend's truck. When you're moving into your first rental and don't have a lot of furniture, look online at websites where people sell used items for a steal. Mandy and Steve were able to snatch up some furniture from listings they found within the neighborhood, which made it inexpensive and easy. They got a used couch and a bed in great condition for under $300. After years of sleeping in a tent, these two deserve a cozy bedroom where they can finally relax. I'm surprising them with a bedroom makeover that will capture their character, give them a bit of that organic feeling they love while staying within a $1,000 budget, less than 1 month's rent. To give them some storage, we found a beautiful wood armoire in a second-hand store, and we're giving it a fresh coat of paint to bring it back to life. I've chosen a neutral gray for the walls to create a serene environment where the accessories can take center stage. We're repurposing an old ottoman by covering it with a lush fabric and accenting it with studs that snap right in. This piece can be used anywhere in the apartment if they need extra seating. I just hope it's the change they were looking for after trading in their tent.
Wow.
Cool.
Very nice. There's so much to take in.
We didn't have any closets, and so they've taken a room without any closet space, and they've added some nice pieces, and so it feels really good. Ooh, even this matches this.
There you go.
Little details, that's cool.
Love this.
Yeah, I really dig that.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
I thought it was something that you guys would really like, and I could see you taking it on with you to, different places.
It's totally our style, and yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome.
It's perfect.
Having like solid fixture pieces that I'll be moving to a next home makes it feel grounded, and that's what I wanted.
How do you like the light fixture?
It's crazy.
I saw one of these at a really high-end furniture store, and it was $3,000. What I did is I got an $80 chandelier, and we strung twigs around it with wire, painted it in a really matte color, and $100 later, voila.
Very cool.
I was so excited to give this couple who's been living in a tent a really comfy, cozy, welcoming bed to come home to. The cottons are all organic and they're all very traditional prints, but they become so modern when you mix them all together.
This is really nice.
Good. For your window treatments, we just did a very simple bamboo roller blind.
Little things like that make a big difference.
It's a really small investment, even if you leave it behind when you go.
It doesn't feel like a rental space, which is something I was really hoping for through this experience, and it just feels like home, which is really nice.
And that's kind of a neat touch.
Those were screens,
Okay.
so we bought 2 of them and took the hinges off and turned it into a headboard for you.
Great.
This is like a luxury for me, and I'm not really sure what I do with it. But it looks cool.
I think that's where you sit to put your socks on.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, I need someone to sort of give me a set of instructions with all this stuff, and the idea of putting my socks on in that thing makes sense. It's perfect. I love it.
That's good. We'll have you trained in no time.
Yeah, exactly.
The living room had a troubled past as far as paint goes. We painted a very nice, tasteful, neutral color, and voila.
For me, that's one of the biggest things, is walking into the living room and to have that different paint on the walls, and so it's not like this bright thing that makes me feel like I'm in this little space, because it is a small living room. That makes a huge difference. And we have a couch. We've never owned a couch. It sounds ridiculous, but that's a big part of this whole space, is to have a place that we feel at home and we feel comfortable.
The kitchen here is pretty tiny, but Mandy and Steve can pull some bar stools up to the counter and they've got an instant breakfast bar.
I love the rack.
The pot rack.
The pot rack.
It totally fills the room perfectly.
The office was a bonus space for Mandy and Steve.
Having an office is a total luxury. Both of us work from home a lot, so it'll be really beneficial to us.
Yeah.
The bathroom itself was very modern. We gave it a quick coat of paint in a nice woodsy color and removed the mismatched floating shelving.
That punch of green makes the space a little bit more fun.
I came in right on budget. $1,000 for the bedroom makeover and just some paint and small accessories throughout the apartment.
We got what we wanted with this place completely. This whole thing was about landing ourselves on our feet and building a home base from which we can also grow, and I think everything fits really nicely.
I think for young professionals that are still renting, it's worth putting, whether it's a month's rent or whatever you're comfortable with, into your space to make it homey.
Mandy and Steve are planning on living here for at least a couple of years, so it's absolutely worth the money to make the place comfortable and stylish.
The overall picture, it's bang on. It's home. We had looked in the city at a different time, and all these great places were coming up, so it's just this year seemed to be crazy for some reason.
And I didn't know at that time that we were embarking on a 4-month process.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes a lot of time. So I'm done with it.
You done with it?
I'm done.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We're gonna be renters for life.
That's right.